Hey guys, welcome in tonight. I hope you're all doing well on this beautiful Saturday night. Just been reading chat for a bit before I started the stream here. I see we've got a good crowd in here tonight. Josh, the married man, good to see ya. Apparently Fireman is having a heart attack in the middle of my stream. If your left arm goes numb, maybe just call somebody about that if you can. But yes, I understand your pain. You can't get that checked out because you live in the United States, where we just kind of deal with our chest pains like real men. USA. FLG, good to see ya. Ryjoy, thanks for coming in. Jolt, let's see who else we got here. James, thanks for coming in, guys. Good to see ya. Alright, I hope you guys are ready for part 3 of Mario's Endless Nightmare. We got pretty close to the end of the last area, so I'm hoping we could get to the final boss tonight. We'll see. The last area has quite the gauntlet of fights, so we'll see how far we can get into that. If you didn't see my post earlier this week, version 1.1 of this hack is available. It addresses a few things like replacing the Hurley gloves because they soft lock certain boss fights, which is disappointing, I know. It gives you a few starting items to make that first battle room a bit more bearable. If you picked, we picked Mallow as our first ally, and we kind of got through by the skin of our teeth, but picking Toadstool would have been even worse. So you need a little help, so I give you a few starting items. It adds a few more song choices to the battle music options, stuff like, but not limited to, that Booster Tower saxophone song and Barrel Volcano that we talked about last week. It fixes a few miscellaneous other things too, so check it out. I will be playing version 1.0 for now, at least until we beat the final boss, just because we've come pretty far and I don't exactly know how applying the new patch on an old save file will affect things, so version 1.0 it is. But when we eventually inevitably do the Pit of 100 Nightmares, I'll do that on the most recent patch, because you have to do a new save for that anyway. But let's get into it. Alright, we did the first battle room. Do we need more items? No, I think we took care of the shopping last time. Yeah, got a butt ton of maple syrups, so we're in a good spot. Alright, let's go fight some stuff. FLG, living the American dream, having the ability to see a doctor. And Josh living the other American dream, trying to find a job. Ah, Shady, thanks for coming in. Glad you like the Jurassic Park VOD. It's one of those, I wouldn't call it obscure exactly, but maybe one of those old games that doesn't get as much love as it should. So, glad you appreciate it. Let's blast these fools. Yeah, Aussie, that's the name of the game right there. Toadstool is just pretty rough, frankly, as a first choice. So when I was playtesting this, I playtested the Pit of 100 Nightmares too, and playing as Toadstool was just dismal, frankly. It's hard to get through even the first area with just her, and there's not even a boss fight. But eventually, once you hit maybe floor 30 or 40 or something like that, your choices become less and less relevant and it all kind of gets hard anyway. But hey, that's why it's the hard mode of the hack. Uh-oh, that's gonna hurt. Okay, Bowser. You're fine. Ooh, FLG. Bad accident. Well, I'm glad you're alive. I prefer not to use all of my pick-me-ups here, but I also need Peach to live. Josh, good luck on the house hunt. The joys of home ownership, or apartment ownership, or whatever you're looking for. Oh, you said apartment. Even better. The real final boss of this hack, Hippopo, really giving me the business here. Okay, well, as long as Toadstool's alive, she can come back, people. Okay, cool, even better. Weapon X Juno, thanks for coming in. Glad to see you here. Glad that you liked stuff enough that you want to follow it up. This is the place to be. We're party animals here. Josh, I haven't seen her since your wedding day. Something seems wrong about this situation. Do character growth skills in this hack stay vanilla, or can we do some weird things with builds? Growths stay the same, so level ups are going to look identical. As far as equipment goes, though, equipment is a bit different, so you may want to factor that in when you're building your characters, as it were. One of the things that I was always frustrated with in the original game is how Bowser gets shafted in terms of late-game equipment. Like, all of this stuff is garbage by comparison. So now to even it out and really kind of accentuate people's strengths and weaknesses, everybody's generic armor and weapons boost your stats by the same amount. So Bowser's final weapon boosts his attack by 50, Toadstool's final weapon boosts her attack by 50, and so on. Fireman, I know what some of those words mean, but you seem excited about it, and I'm happy for you for that. Pathfinder, Rage Dragon Metal Kineticist. That was my nickname in high school. Rage Dragon Metal Kineticist. Alright, going with my tried and true method of just picking the highest bonus each time. No flower tab here. Glad to hear you like the game, Aussie. I had ranted about this on the first stream of this hack, but I kind of envisioned this as a companion to Randomizer, as it were. So, glad you like it. Okay, I'd run from me too. That's going to be my favorite out-of-context quote for the night. Yank it, no lidocaine. Ow. I've been hammered. Bowser, you're just gonna hang out, I guess. I'm already a scarecrow, you doofus. Pathfinder 2nd edition character build lets me build a dragon and metal bender avatar, or from Avatar. Nice. That sounds cool. I've been playing Metroid Prime 4 lately. Anybody have that? I'm curious as to what the general consensus on that one is. I've been avoiding, and also don't spoil anything for me or anybody else, please. I haven't finished it yet, but I always try to stay away from the internet when I'm playing a game for the first time, so I don't get spoiled. Well, this is weird. What are those other shadows here for? Huh. Okay. Let me make a note of that. Weird boo battle with 4 shadows. Okay. I'll investigate that later. Prime 4 is decent, but not as good as the others. Okay, fair enough. Still prefer 1 and 2? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, and I'm not going to. I'll just say that Prime 4 feels like... I don't know, it feels like Prime 4. And what I mean by that is, it feels like it's kind of right in line with the others. It's not like... You know, for waiting as long as we have for a sequel, it doesn't feel like they really did anything dramatically different than the first 3. It's just kind of like, yeah, this could have been a Wii or a GameCube game, and I might not have been able to tell the difference. Uh-oh. Oh man, that was the worst choice. Debug stream in the future? What do you mean? You want a stream of me, like, just opening up Lazy Shell and fixing things? Nightly, thanks for coming in. 15 minutes late, but that's fine. Fashionably late, as the kids say. Most people don't show up till midway through anyway, so good to see you. Ow. Okay, fine, recover. That'd be interesting if I did a stream that was just me, like, editing something. I don't know. I think you guys would find it boring, frankly, because a lot of it's just going to be me, like, adding something and then going, does this work? Testing it, finding that it doesn't work, and then tweaking it. Repeating that process like 10 times. Okay, I don't like all of this killing me that's happening here. A Lazy Shell tutorial would be kind of cool. I have a whole playlist of Lazy Shell tutorial videos on my channel. They've gotten like 100 views each, something like that. Okay, can I boost myself here? If I could just stop the bells from doing fear roulette, that'd be cool. Uh-oh. I'm getting blasted. Nice. The goggles do nothing. Is that time is marching on thing something I've added? No, that's a thing the vanilla dinglings can do. That just skips countdowns, well, countdown by 1. So I think he skipped like 6 o'clock and 5 o'clock or something like that. Oh man. Ugh, I told you to stop doing that. Wait, the kids don't say fashionably late anymore? Since when? I used to be with it, then they changed what it was. Yeah, Weapon X. I really wish they made Mario RPG 2. Yeah, we can dream, can't we? Unfortunately, my hacks are probably the closest you're going to get. Ow. I hope your team isn't underleveled. Well, it's not looking good, my friend. I think I'd be doing a lot better if I didn't get fear rouletted, because I keep trying to Geno boost, and then the people I Geno boost die. Maybe we just bring out the big guns here. Well, actually first, let's top us off here. You're all FLG, you're also watching the end of GDQ? I don't blame you. I don't usually watch that live just because I'm never around for it, but I'll probably watch the VODs at some point. Time for a break, huh? Geno needs a little rest, and that's okay. I can respect that. Nice. Yeah, that's the blessing and curse of making ROM hacks, is we make them the way that we want them to be, right? So for better or worse, there will always be people that complain about them. You know, hey, you should have added this to the game. But at the end of the day, it's what I wanted to put in it. So for better or worse, you just kind of have to deal with that. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty underleveled here. I think I'm usually around level 17 or 18, maybe even 19 by the time I'm here. So, probably underleveled. Nice. They had the fire alarm go off during the final? Oh, that's rough. When the fire alarm goes off, do they actually like get up and leave? Like, I'm sure there's legal issues surrounding that because it's it's an event. Or do they all just kind of sit around and ignore it? Majora's Mask blindfolded? Wow, okay. That sounds nuts. Okay. Princess, come back. They had everybody leave? Okay, that makes sense. Wow, that's funny. Drunk Ship, good to see ya. My favorite regular viewer whose username comes from a song. Goodness, Countdown. You gotta relax, bro. This is my last pick-me-up. Well, let me think. What's at the end of this? Let's see, we've got Cloaker and Domino, I think, is the last fight in this. I think that's the only boss, though? I think so. Okay, so we just gotta get through this without Toadstool dying anymore. Let's beat up this clock. Okay, Recover's not terrible, honestly, because like I mentioned before, there's a weird quirk with Recover where any enemy that uses it skips their next turn for some reason, so this gives us a free turn, basically. Alright, Geno, we'll top you off. Brutal Brewing Bros, good to see you again. Triple B. Still alive, by the skin of my teeth. Non-spoiler question, is it possible to make new or add characters to use, or do you only have the option to use the ones the original game had? If you're talking about adding 6 or more party members, that's, I'm going to say, for practical purposes, undoable. You can't really do that. The only way to really add your own characters to this is to overwrite ones that exist. So, like I've done with Axem Rangers and the Koopa Bros, you just kind of have to overwrite them. Okay, now that we're a whopping level 16, we continue to be in rough shape, and yet here we are, still alive. Let's see, Cloaker and Domino. Do we want to get anybody on our team that's different? I guess not. That's a lot of dudes. The pointy bros. Pointy boys. Nice. Hey Tech, glad you mad it. Do we want to just bite the bullet and give her the safe armor? I guess we can, so she won't die. She's not really doing much offensively anyway. The disappointing thing is this greatly lowers her healing output, but hey, at the end of the day, I guess comeback still does 100% HP, so that doesn't matter. Say you wanted to use Yoshi, would you need to remove Bowser or someone? Yeah, you'd have to remove somebody to add somebody. There's not really a way around that, unfortunately. One damage, let's see it. Nice. Healer can't heal if she's dead. Exactly. RPG 101. Keep your healer alive at all costs. Nice. Actually did some damage. Now, if memory serves, I think I made it so the safe armor is kind of like the lazy shell. I think it's it's not quite as good. I don't think it blocks elemental damage, but it does block one-hit KO attacks, so she can't get fear rouletted anymore. It doesn't seem like much of a roulette if it just targets one person every time. Can any of these guys drop pick-me-ups? Be cool if they could. Nice. On the board with 9. Toadstool gives 1 damage and takes 1 damage. Seems fair, huh? I apologize if I, once again, sound a bit stuffed up for like the... Well, not the 4th stream in a row, but like the 4th stream in a month? 3rd stream in a month? Something like that. So last week, I was a bit stuffed up. And then I started feeling pretty darn sick by the end of that Sunday. And I've been feeling pretty rough all week, but the last couple days I've been on the mend. So now I think I'm through the worst of it, but it's just that lingering stuffiness that feels like we're right back where we started from. Well, I guess better now than during Christmas. You know, when I'm trying to have fun. Oh, that's a lot of hammers. Thanks, team. I'll be fine. I'll live. Nobody used fear roulette on me, so I'll live. I like these little hammer guys. It's a shame you don't see them until the very end of the game. They're supposed to be angry at you, but they just look so cute. Although their leg placement is a little questionable. They're like halfway up on their handle. Man, who designed this thing? There we go, get some more damage output. Okay, there we go. This is Cloaker and Domino here. Their sprites are too big to include normally, so that's why they look like that. What do we want on Toadstool? Do we use... I think can the snake use Fungus Spike? I don't remember, but I guess we'll do True Form Pin. Hey Zap, good to see you. Let's get rid of Domino. I think Cloaker is the lesser of two evils here. Smithy's Goons makes you think of Mega Man enemy designs? Well, I mean, there's that whole Axem Ranger Z thing, where they put Axem Ranger heads on Mega Man Battle Network bodies, so I think they're just meant to be. Let's start by buffing our healer. Reminiscent of the walking hammers from the Wall movie. Nice. Deep cut there. We don't need no education. Now, I've heard people claim that Cloaker and Domino is supposed to be a reference to Cloak and Dagger, but I don't know. I don't know if I can vouch for that one. Because the one holding the sword, the dagger as it were, is not called... his name does not start with the D. Okay, and then Bowser should be it. Oops, I missed the defense. Hey, welcome in. Does starting an encounter from behind do anything, or do we all just jump on their backside because Pavlov taught us good? I'm leaning more toward the second one, because I can tell you I didn't make the enemies react differently depending on how you interact with them. Alright, there's one down. Let's just slide our way over here. So the reason why they slide instead of walking is to make that little cutscene compatible with if you have less than 3 party members right now. Ow. This would be pretty hard if you did have less than 3, but it's an option. This hack is supposed to be about challenging whatever you want to do to challenge yourself. Oh wow, Bowser actually like doing damage with this magic attack. That's a little weird. Hey Dreams, good to see ya. Say hello to Mr. Snack. So this guy's called Earthlink. And I forget what, there's the other Snack. It's called Mad Adder, but the remake calls it something else. And now I can't remember what it is. But it's something Link. A snake, a link to the past, maybe. Same reason for the squid fight too? Yep, exactly. bad adder. That's what they call it. Ryjoy with the facts. Oh no. Ouch. I've been kissed. Earthlink. ISP. I prefer Bad Adder as my ISP, but to each their own. Zap, would you want to see Mario do more actual plumbing in his games? Like, the final boss of the next Mario game is a urinal cake or something like that? Stop trying to kiss me. I don't like it. Comcast the deadly snake. Well, I mean, frankly, in all the places I've lived in my life, at least here in the US, I've never found an ISP that I liked. Yeah, Earthlink is a transliteral name. I think even Cloaker and Domino have more related names to that in the original Japanese. I think it's something like Dirt Link and some other kind of link. I can't remember. Mercury Link. There you go. That's something. Show us what you got, princess. Nice. 2. Yeah, let's see how much this does, just for kicks. Okay, not that much. I guess I did die and lost my attack up. I mean, Earthlink is an internet service provider. CenturyLink is another internet service provider. So, I don't know. You could just name all of these snakes after internet providers and you'd be good to go. What is its original name? Dennis. Dennis the Snake. Cloaker and Domino being easier than Countdown. Can't say I saw that one coming. There we go. Battle room number 2, down. Nice, Mario. I mean, part of me is still tempted to do, put Mario on my team for the super jumps, but can't take the easy way out. Carny Kiss? I always assumed it's because it's like, we'll just keep on boosting Bowser, give Toadstool our defense. I assumed it was because it was like, it's used by enemies that bite and attack you, so they're like carnivores, so it's Carnivore Kiss, something like that. Yeah, big meaty kiss. I don't know, dude. What are we calling the puffball this stream? I don't know. What's the puffball's name again? Could you perhaps be talking about Maller? We don't need anything from you guys, but we do need stuff from you guys. Chancellor. Just give me some stuff, fam. Oh, hey, Shady, with the 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much. Enjoy those, my friends. Everybody say thanks to Shady. Let's see, what else do we need here? I mean, this is the boss rush part. So do we really need fright bombs? I'm not sure that's gonna help that much. Or sleepy bomb. Actually, I think some bosses can be, like Gun Yoke, I think can be frighted, feared. Wait, do I have any... I do still have Crystalline Power Blast. I guess maybe we can buy a couple more of those? Maybe we should buy one of these. Red Essence is not a bad idea, right? Okay, we'll do a Red Essence and a Yoshi Aid. Give that attack defense boost to Toadstool if she needs it. It's a play on the fact that Earthlink is powered by Cloaker riding him? That's not a bad idea. Maybe you're right. His name rhymes with Halo Combat Evolved. I mean, makes perfect sense to me. Okay, there's no opportunity to use overworld items in between these fights, so Flower Tab is kind of a no-go. Any plans to do this with any other SNES games? You mean like make a roguelike hack of anything else? No, I don't have any plans to do that. Oh, safety badge, we'll take that. There you go, princess. I think I'd rather have you in your true form. Let's go save again. Dreams, you wish that you had that luck with actual roulette? You mean you want actual roulette to kill you? Newer Boomerang Mario. Hello to you too. Thanks for coming in. What even is a gun yoke? Yes. No, so I'm working on another video I think I'll do at some point about the weird translation choices in this game. I will even probably rant about the possible origins of Neo Squid, because the reality is no one knows what Neo Squid, where that comes from exactly. But I have some good theories with some actual, some info to back it up. But I was looking into Gun Yoke to see where that name comes from, and from what I could see, like every other translation of this game that exists, like Chinese, French, Dutch, you name it, it's like, it's a free-for-all. Everybody has their own name for what that thing is called. I can't remember any off the top of my head, but yeah, everybody has their own different name for it. Nice. The Paper Mario SMRPG combo randomizer. Coming soon, TM. No, I know the powers that be over at the SMRPG randomizer are looking to add it to the archipelago, where you have all those interconnected randomizers with each other, so who knows. You had to check out Gun Yoke's Japanese name. Do you know what it is? Oh no, I do remember what the Japanese name is. It's supposed to be a pun off of the term Final Dungeon. I remember that. Boomerang, you're working on your own mod for Super Mario Galaxy 2? Oh, nice. It's a great game. How many more areas are there? This is it. After this battle room here where we go through this gauntlet, there's the final boss, and that's it. We've still got stuff like the Pit of 100 Trials. Jury's still out if I want to do the boss rush or not, where it's just literally fighting all the bosses in the game back to back. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that one or not. And then there's the Pit of 100 Nightmares too. So there's stuff to do after this, but we're getting pretty close to the end of the campaign part of things. Black can counter sometimes, so I guess there's not much point in attacking there. Drunk ship confirms. The pun on last dungeon. Yellow counters too, which is fun. Gun Yock. That would have been funny, but also kind of weird. Seems like I'm tuning in for the end, but figured I'd try to catch one of these. Yeah, well, this is not the end exactly. We've still got more content, and the stream itself has only been going about 45 minutes. So, we got a while to go. Your top 3 fan, how did that happen? Gonna be honest, I don't really know. I mean, no disrespect, Triple B, but I think there have been some people in chat more active than you, so I don't really know how the ranking works. If that's a setting, I have never touched it, so I don't know. Quebec. Good old French Canada. Or as they call it in Canada, French here. Geno Flash, nice. Devour the souls of the innocent is how you rank? Somebody check on Fire. Did he have that heart attack yet? Oh wait, he just posted. Okay, good. Alright, let's get our FP up here. One of the few HP values I have memorized for some reason, Machine Made Mac has 300 HP. Dreams, you're suffering from a cold too? We are siblings in illness. It's not a bad name for a band. Siblings in illness. You managed to get all 5 allies to level up at the same time. I try to do that. I try to time how much experience I have at different points in the game so that happens. But for some reason I always end up with 1 or 2 of them who are kind of off everybody else. But once you get into the higher levels, it gets easier to do. Alright, fair enough. Block my items. Mac can jump off screen and now you can't kill him? I understood that reference. I made that reference. Dreams, you're dying too? Come on, guys. No heart attacks on my stream. Viva la Hurly Glove, as the kids say. Thanks for coming in. So I was Jonesy, thanks for coming in. We're just having a good old time here. Finding enemies, kicking butt, taking names. We drank, we fought, we made our ancestors proud. Yaridovich, the only one of the trio that's actually kind of tough. Imagine fighting Wario in Super Mario RPG? I don't know, somebody should add him to a hack. I'm sure he'd have plenty of fart-themed attacks. It's kind of his whole thing. Man, Dreams, I didn't realize you had it so rough. Sorry to hear that life beats you up so much. Alright, Weapon X. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully my my deep, soothing voice can lull you to sleep. If you get a good super jump in Thunderbolt versus Mac, you win on your first turn. Well, yeah, if you're over-leveled, if you're level 6, which is when you get super jump, you're definitely over-leveled for Mac. You'll be just fine. Axem, mind if I call you that? You can call me whatever you want, just don't call me late for dinner? I don't know, that's some old folksy expression my boss likes to say. He's like 60-something years old. But yeah, that's fine, you can call me that. Which do I like better, Yaridovich or Spiritovich? I don't know. I mean, I understand that Spiritovich is the correct one, Yaridovich is just a translation error, but I feel like it's got more character than Spiritovich. It's like renaming Mac to Clay Morton, where sure, Clay Morton finally probably makes more sense to people than, like, I don't think anybody who's playing the remake as their first Super Mario RPG experience would be old enough to know who Mac the Knife is, but still, you know. I don't know, I'm attached to the old names, I guess. You know what I think would have been a great idea if they kind of wanted to split the difference a bit is they could have renamed the enemies, turn Mac into Clay Morton, turn Yaridovich into Spiritovich, but then for their machine-made versions, let them have their old names. Machine-made Mac is just called Mac. Machine-made Yaridovich is Yaridovich. That would have been a good idea. Well, Dreams, despite your physical ailments, you're still here, and I appreciate that. This is the place to be. Anyone think this hack will make it onto retro achievements? One could hope. I feel like this hack has more potential for a wider audience than Super Koopa RPG does, because I feel like that targets an audience of people who want SMRPG ROM hacks, but also don't mind that the main characters have been replaced. You'd also need to be a fan of Paper Mario, so for something like this, I think it has more, more potential to get to a far-reaching audience. And she'll always be Toadstool to me. That's true too. I still think that Super Mario 64 is canon when it said, when she signs off her letter, Princess Toadstool Peach. Both are correct in my book. Although the translation in the remake did remove the reference to Bruce Lee, so, you know, 0 out of 10, unplayable. Yeah, Super Koopa RPG is on Retro Achievements. I've seen that before, which is pretty cool. I've made it to the big time. Smithy Phase 2 takes place in a pit full of discarded robot parts. Yeah, it makes you wonder what they were going for with the floor made out of smithy heads. If it's just supposed to be a weird aesthetic choice, or if it's supposed to represent something more, like old discarded versions of Smithy or something like that. Maybe we'll find out in Super Mario RPG 2, guys. Coming soon, TM. Hey Matt, good to see ya. I have had a good week, other than being a tad under the weather for a good chunk of it. I'm having a good week. I hope you have too. Had a good week, I mean, not been sick. Hey Miguel, good to see ya. Thanks for narrating the scene so far. I'm reading that in the voice of the Dragon Ball Z narrator guy. Super Koopa does in fact have trophies in Kooper's house, so it's like retro achievements built into the game. Pretty cool, huh? Maybe the real smithies were the floors we made along the way. I'm going to boost Gino in anticipation of being cured of fear. Yeah, let's just attack the director here. There's some lore about Smithy not being the only one? I don't recall that, but could be, I suppose. Alright, we'll boost Bowser too. Okay, these hammers, once you defeat them all, the director just summons more, so best thing to do here is probably just get it down to 1. Smithy himself is a robot, so who made him? Mysterious. Top 10 questions I still can't answer. I think there was a video by, oh, what's that guy's name? Swanky Box, who talked about the theory that there's more lurking in the weapon world because somebody must have built Smithy, that kind of stuff. Thanks for coming in. DRS5KALGDM. Your name starts with DR, so I'm just going to call you Doctor. I hope that's okay. Smithy was once a human who made himself into a robot? I don't know, I could buy that, maybe. The thing I always thought was odd was that he has that disguise. I don't know if it's supposed to be a disguise, but he wears a beard, a cape, and gloves that kind of are supposed to resemble human hands, I guess. So it's like he's trying to hide the fact that he's a robot at first. Thanks for coming in, Fire. Try not to die. Don't have a heart attack, please. Will the Smithy Gang want revenge if Super Mario RPG 2 is made? Super Mario RPG 2, Electric Boogaloo. This time it's personal. Okay, are we at a point where we just don't care about attack on her anymore? Maybe we do just go with HP for the extra survivability? Ah, Gun Yoke. Gun Yoke can use Breaker Beam, which is pretty devastating, so let's get defended here. Yeah, I mean, us not knowing that much about Smithy is part of what makes him compelling. He's just kind of like the guy in the background that shows up and you know is responsible for everything. Super Mario RPG 2 Judgment Day. 2 Super, 2 Mario, 2 RPG. Alright, this is, in fact, the second to last boss in the vanilla game. So after this, it's Smithy. And that'll be tough to get through, but I have faith in us. Smithy is weapons Santa Claus. Santa Claus is gunning you down. What is Gun Yoke supposed to be? Sentient lava tank thing? I don't know what to tell you, champ. Gino with a motorcycle. I mean, that's basically the plot of Metroid Prime 4, from what I can tell. It's just Samus, but with a motorcycle. Still alive. Good job, Bowser. I mean, it's not a bad idea, Zap. Reincarnated into a talking tank. Gino's back, and this time it's personal. Return the stars to the Star Road. Never. I wasn't asking. Is it possible for poison to kill you in Super Mario RPG? No. Poison cannot kill you. It can just bring you down to 1 HP. Gino shows up to Super Smash Bros., but this time, he's just a tank. A giant metal forge pot? Yeah, I can see that. I kind of thought that's what it was supposed to be going for. Like it's a combination of a tank and like one of those giant industrial melting crucible things they have. Imagine this ROM hack mixed with Armageddon ROM hack. I don't know about that one. I know one of these days I need to play Armageddon, and I'll probably do that on stream. I've said it before, but I think the last version I played was version 4, and it's up to version 10 now. So I should probably give it a fair shot. I was actually talking to Doomsday, the guy that made that hack, well, one of the guys that made that hack, the other day, and he told me, yeah, if you want to play it on stream, you should probably do normal mode, because normal mode is like, it has the classic video game power fantasy of, if you level yourself up, do side content, and you could be really strong. And then hard mode, it's the power fantasy, but for the enemies. They are always really strong, and no matter what you do, they will always be able to beat you. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna do normal mode, whenever I get around to doing that. Geno as a star spirit? I like to imagine, so, I mean, Paper Mario is supposed to be, it was originally envisioned as a sequel to Super Mario RPG, right? So I kind of envision Geno being like somebody that works for the Star Road. He's like the messenger of the star spirits kind of thing. Definitely would have been nice if he was included in some capacity in Paper Mario, but hey, what could you do? It's not in the cards. Alright, let's get boosted. Hardest sweaty gamer mode. I'll tell Doomsday you said that. I'm sure he'd get a kick out of it. This song is a jive, as the kids say. We don't have any fire bombs, do we? Or no, maybe it's ice that the smelter is weak against. Maybe we save the ice bomb for Smithy's weird, like, tank, not the tank head, the, like the welding mask head, whatever it's called. SMRPG is chronologically after Paper Mario. Geno was too embarrassed to see if Mario remembered him. My name is Gene Twink. Yeah, let's go with that. The final trio will have their own music. They do not, unfortunately. Music hacking in this game is... frankly, it's a disaster. And I didn't have time to make up my own custom song. It's all fun and games till you fight 3 Culexes. I'm pretty sure that would just crash the game at that point, if you tried to load that many huge sprites on screen at once. Yeah, we're out of FP. Yeah, okay, we'll have Geno do it. I was debating having the princess do it, but I guess she should probably heal this turn. Culex 3D. I really liked Culex 3D. I remember going onto Reddit and different forums not long after the remake came out and people complaining about how how Culex 3D was so hard and it took them so many tries to do it. And I managed to beat Culex 3D on my first try. I didn't think he was that hard, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm kind of a nerd at this game, so it probably wouldn't be that hard for somebody like me. I just thought, honestly, I thought Culex 3D was a bit easier than some of the other post-game fights. Like, I had a real hard time with Punchinello at first, honestly. Bowser, you'll be fine, right? Is there a hard sprite limit for this game? Not a sprite limit per se, but there's a size limit. Like, you can have 6 Goombas on screen at a time and you'll be fine, but you can't have 6 Smithies on screen or it just won't work. Because Smithy is huge. Yeah, Booster, the remake's Booster was pretty hard until I figured out what the gimmick was. But at that point it's just trial and error. Yeah, I suppose that's my fault for counting on Reddit to have any sort of meaningful discourse. My bad. Yeah, it's more a RAM limit than anything. Yeah, tech for the most part you can do that, but I'll say that the refight against Johnny gave me some trouble. This is why I should have made it a point to take out this guy. But yeah, Johnny, I felt like if you didn't have the Quartz Charm on or something similar, the Johnny refight was just way too hard. Well, I guess no time like the present to use this. Been hoarding it like a dragon for most of the game. Galaxy has an opposite problem. Handle a lot of the same object, but too many different objects. Yeah, I mean that makes sense for a Wii game, having a bit more robust of a graphics engine than a game like this. Hey Druid, good to see you. Glad you made it. Okay, Smithy's first form only has 2000 HP, so you can't have that much more going on. You found a new skip? What do you think you're doing, breaking my game? First of all, how dare you? But yeah, please share with the rest of the class. See, the problem with making a hack, making a game, is that when stuff like that comes up, where there's like skips for enemies and stuff that are unintentional, part of me is like, I should probably go back and fix that. And then the rest of me is like, well, leaving it in's kind of funny, so I don't know. Possible to avoid the last 2 battles in Area 7 and go straight to the last door? Interesting. How do you do that? Do you like jump past the event that tells you can't come here yet? Oh wow, we only have 1 maple syrup left, huh? Okay, guess I've been a little too free with the Geno flashes there. Get close to the invisible barrier, jump at the apex of it, move diagonally up. Okay, so it sounds like I might just need to make the barrier taller. Or something. Accidentally added a 0 to Smithy's HP. I definitely fought Smithy and beat him in testing, so I don't think I did that. There we go, okay. Is this game or Super Koopa RPG that I'm supposed to speedrun? You know, whichever you can get into GDQ, dealer's choice. I don't think the boosts carry over between fights here. Can I put you to sleep? I get the feeling that's probably not going to work. Yeah, I guess we'll just defend for now. Not sure what else to do with you. Oh, cool. I've been killed in one hit. At least it was the one that I didn't use Geno Boost on. If you lose in that battle, you lose the other 2 party members for some reason? Huh. That's a new one. Which battle, if you lose? Do you mean in the 7th area, if you skip? Defeating Culex with nothing but rock candies. Yeah, my method of choice for beating Culex is just pop red essences and clear out my inventory of ice bombs and fire bombs and such. And rock candies, of course. Alright, Smithy is not here to play around. But I have faith in us. Gonna be honest here, the last time I playtested this, I felt like I was at a pretty low level, and I think I ended up beating Smithy with like 2 items left in my inventory or something like that. But I think in my testing I had ended up skipping some things, so I was probably even more underleveled than I am now, so hopefully it won't be that bad. Getting a game over in that last door after the skip. Huh. I'm not sure what that would have to do with your party members, though. After reloading the save, only Malo was there. Malo was there. I checked the room where Yoshi is and they were all there. Well, that is a bit odd. Huh. I'll try to look into that, but I'm honestly not sure what to make of that. It's a shame we didn't get the freebie there. Out of all the remakes, rematches, the one that gives me the most trouble, Punchinello, Booster, and Johnny. Yeah, I think Johnny takes the cake for me. Did I mean Maylene from Pokemon? Yeah, close enough. I had somebody once tell me, you're supposed to pronounce it like the word marshmallow, because Nimbus Land is called Marshmallow Kingdom in the original Japanese. And I'm thinking, but yeah, most people, self-included, say marshmallow. And calling somebody mellow when that's clearly an A and not an E, it just doesn't feel right. Is there any anti-one-shot gear in this one, like the safety ring? Yeah, the safe armor has that effect. I think there might be like the Jinx belt that does that too. I think that's the thing. That sounds right. Let's tag team the healing. Yeah, I think that's why Culex 3D didn't give me as much trouble as the other and the remake bosses, is because they really are built around gimmicks. And it feels like Culex is the only one that isn't, honestly. Culex is just kind of a, you know, bring your best gear and do your best. Whereas everything else was, you better figure out what the deal is before you die. We got the cold head again. Don't really have any good options here. This head is tanky. Yeah, I'm gonna assume the version number doesn't matter there, because I wouldn't have changed that in version 1.1, because I didn't know about it yet. I don't know. Should I just leave that alone? I mean, part of me wants to say, if you don't want to get the prizes from the first 2 battle rooms, then, you know, good luck to you. Alright, and that's a good time for a Power Blast. The head is weak to magic. Yeah, you're right about that, but my problem is I'm really low on FP. I still have a Kiro Cola in my inventory as a safety, but other than that, what I have here is all I've got. I don't want to waste it all on attacking when I should be using it to defend. Ah. What does Smithy's face look like behind the cold head? Well, he has a lovely pink complexion. Okay, fair enough. I guess that's true. Culex did have a gimmick, but it felt less all or nothing than the other gimmicks. Well, I guess that's not true. It kind of is. Oh well. Ah, the mystery box. We can... this is a good time for Muku Cookie, because that heals statuses too. Seizure box. I like that that one doesn't do any damage, and when it affects your whole team, it just looks like they're sad. They all just kind of lean over like, "Aww." Yeah, Coca-Cola makes sense over Kiro Cola, because, yeah, it's just a case of not translating the thing. Let's dip into these. Smoke them if you got them. Invincibility is technically a status, though it overrides mute. Not that that really matters too much on Bowser, but hey. Now it's something you know. Okay, not Geno, not Geno, not Geno, not Geno. Nice. Good choice. What happens if you choose not to add a party member? Well, the option to add a party member, that's just, you just go into Yoshi's room and you can add them. That's not, it doesn't ever go away if you ignore it. So if you're challenging yourself and you want to go through some more battle rooms without additional partners, you can just come back and get the allies later. They'll be waiting for you. Oh man, I was hoping he would stay in that head so I could do some damage to him. What a waste. Oh well. Okay. I mean, this head can't attack me, so... I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world if it just keeps using this one. I wonder if Druid's Skip can be used to break the game? It's an excellent question. I'm not really sure how it would, though. I mean, on the surface, it seems like the worst thing it could do is make you skip a couple battle rooms, so if you're not grinding out levels, you might be a bit under-leveled for Smithy. But other than that, I don't know why he had the issue of the allies not being there anymore. That's kind of weird, but it sounded like he could add them back, so it's not too terrible. Oh, excellent. He healed the body and not the head. That's exactly what we want. spooky box. This'll show him. Nice. Toadstool did damage. Good choice. Oh. Never mind. I thought she was immune to that. I was misinformed. I guess the safe armor does not give you immunity to one-hit KOs. Never mind. Alright, let's top off our FP, I guess. For the last time. Alright, go ahead and open up your mystery box. It can't hurt me, except for the one that does Scarecrow. Is the safety bit in the game? You mean the safety ring? That is in this game, but it's only in the Pit of 100 Trials. It's the only way to get it. This'll show you. Welcome to my Smithy unboxing video. What would happen if you added Bowser to your party 3 times? A fascinating question. I think they would each be treated as separate instances of Bowser. So, like, you could level them up and give them different stat boosts separately. Yeah, they'd each get their own experience pool, level up. Yeah, they'd be treated like 3 completely separate characters, I think. Maybe that's something I should add to this hack. You can recruit 5 Genos and just have at it. But then, I don't know. If you recruited multiples of one ally, that would lock you out of the others. So, I'm not sure about that one. Part of me does wish I had Malo on my team, so that I could see how we're doing on HP. Smithy is very tanky. See what I did there? Ouch. Still alive. Somehow. You think 4K HP has been burned so far? Oh boy. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should have brought Mario along. Just to super jump this guy to death. Just 3 Genos using Geno Whirl. Smithy has 8,000 HP. Ah, I am painfully aware of that fact. Honestly, I'm fine with the toy box head. All it does is status effects, and Toadstool, for now, can heal those. scary. Why do they make his background hell? Because it's a factory. I think working at a factory and working in hell is pretty similar. Nice. Bad toads go to the smithy dungeon to think about what they've done. Nice. Alright, fine. Hey, wait a minute. Oh boy, that's not good. For whatever reason, I don't know what causes this, but sometimes when he changes from the weird armored defense head to the to this head, he can sometimes use 2 spells in one turn, which is something he should not be programmed to do. Okay, you missed Gino. That's a good miss. Alright, party's still alive for now. It's called cheating. Yeah, pretty much. But at least we're doing some decent damage to him. You know, something I've never looked into, and I guess maybe I should look into that one of these days, is if Smithy's HP pool is shared amongst his 4 different heads. His 4 different heads have different stats. I wonder if his FP is reset each time. Hey, there we go. We got him. I wonder if his FP is reset each time he changes heads. There we go. We're in it now. Final area. Fight those evil sorcerers and wake yourself up. You think it's share, but could be misremembering? I'm not sure. I know that the spells that Smithy uses are pretty expensive, FP-wise, and the max FP any enemy can have is 255, so theoretically he would burn through it pretty quickly, but he always seems to have some for some reason. I'm tired, time to take a nap. And yes, as I mentioned before, that mushroom disappearing when you take a nap was fixed in the version 0.01. Alright, let's go buy ourselves some items, because we kinda cleaned house during that fight. IDK, dude, do we need a freshen up? What are our mainstays here? I mean, pick-me-ups and maple syrups, I think, are kind of our main things that we need. We'll probably need to get some stat boost items from the frog coin shop. I'm pretty sure these guys are immune to statuses, so Sleepy Bomb's probably not going to do anything. I guess we'll get one of these in case Toadstool can't heal. Maybe a couple of these. I don't know. I don't want to get caught with my pants down. Having said that, I'm sure I will. Okay, nothing we really need there, I don't think. Actually, no, maybe we buy a cookie. Or 2. Oh, we still have one, so we'll just buy one. Is the FP cost for him altered? No, that's hard-coded to spells themselves. So, If it would be anything, it would be that he gets his FP reset whenever he changes heads. Caught with your Marios out. You know how embarrassing that could be. Alright, I guess we'll just give this a try, and if we die, we die. Let's see. No, that doesn't matter. We'll go buy stat boosting stuff. Screw the rules, I have money. Okay, I still might want to do the Pit of 100 Trials on this save file, so we'll keep the rest of our frog coins for now. Is a super suit in this game? It is not. There is no super suit in this game. Here we are at the final door. Nice dramatic flair there, huh? The 3 drama queens. The 3 amigos. Let's start beefing ourselves up here. You guys like that I took the shaman sprite and just gave it angry eyes? Nice, in case I get shredded. Let's see, just for kicks. Yeah, I've always preferred Smithy's first form music over the second form music. I feel like the first form song is the, okay, let's do this. This is the final confrontation. It's a dramatic fight to the finish. And then the second form is like, oh crap, look what he's become. Smithy stats, each one has its own separate FP pool. Wonder if they carry over, or how that works. Each one of these guys has different elemental strength and weaknesses. You could probably guess that between the 3 elements that can do damage, fire, ice, and lightning, that each one is weak to 1, strong to 1, and neutral to 1. And they're all different. And if you attack one with the element that it's weak to, they counterattack you, which is why I'm not really worried about doing elemental damage to them. I don't think I have any elemental attacks anyway. I took the non-elemental team with me. How much HP do these dweebinators have individually? I think it's around 3k each, if memory serves. Nice. Excellent choice on who to attack. Seems kind of weak for final bosses? Maybe. But sometimes they do all of their powerful attacks all in the same turn, and it can catch you off guard. But yeah, I mean, they could probably stand to be beefed up a little bit. Who knows, maybe I'll do that in the next patch. The same patch where I fixed that thing that Druid broke. The secret final boss is just me coming out of the screen to attack you. Yeah, that's the thing, is at the end of the day, I wanted this to be something that people could, like, create their own challenge runs for, so I didn't want the bosses to be, like, super hard and frustrating with a full team. I wanted you to be able to pick whatever team you wanted to pick, even if it had 1 or 2 party members, that kind of thing. So I didn't want the final boss, to be overwhelmingly difficult. But yeah, compared to Smithy, this might just be too easy at the end of the day. A self-insert? I mean, the Axem Rangers are already in this game, so I don't know what more I could do on that front. Axem Blue. Maybe. Is this the final boss? This is in fact the final boss. Of this mode, anyway. Of the campaign. Self-outsert. I just take the Axem Rangers out for some reason. Axem Silver, Gold, Orange. Axem Viridian, Vermilion. Axem Fuchsia. Nice. Axem Ranger dating sim. You're gonna have to fight my wife for that one. Alright, there's one down. Axem colorblind mode. I never saw that coming. It came completely out of the gray. If you have the first party member with a safe armor and then fight Johnny in the boss rush, you can't defeat him with physical or magic attacks? I don't know, man. That sounds more like a skill issue to me. But really, though, I'm not really sure what to do about that. I guess just don't equip the safe armor on your first party member? You just gotta be mindful of your party layout before you head in? I don't know. I don't mean for that to sound dismissive, but with fighting all of the bosses back-to-back like that, I'm not really sure what else can be done about that. I suppose I could have the boss rush always default to the version where he never asks you for a one-on-one, but I don't know. I don't know if people would like that or not. Combine into the Smithy head sprite without the face? Yeah, I don't know about that one. But yeah, I'll probably beef up their output at some point. The problem is between the 3 of them too, they have more HP than Smithy does. So it kind of gets into the war of attrition territory too. Where, sure, you can probably keep up with the damage they're dealing, but you might run out of resources if you didn't plan far enough ahead. Yeah, maybe just have once one dies, it uses Valor up on the others. Something like that. Yeah, that's another trick, too. Just don't kill all the pirates and Johnny will never do a one-on-one. But I remember when my older brother taught me that trick back in the day, and I thought it was the coolest thing. And then, of course, you get on the internet and everyone's like, yeah, we all knew that one already, dude. Try to keep up. Bowser in his lovely purple palette. The poison palette. Yeah, you just gotta leave at least one of the pirates alive. Or keep Mario dead. That works too. Alright, there's number 2. Yeah, maybe I can do something like that, where once one dies, they use Vigor up on the other 2, and then once number 2 dies, maybe the last one starts breaking out Meteor Swarm and stuff like that. Druid, are you planning a speedrun? This sounds promising. All this syrup and no pancakes and waffles. Just imagining these poor people chugging gallons of syrup. It's just disgusting. I feel like there's also potential for that to be used as an expression somehow. Ah, man. All this syrup and no pancakes and waffles. The silver coins look great. Well, I'm glad you like it. Funny story, when I first started making this, I never changed the color palette on the coins, they just turned gray for some reason, and I'm still not entirely sure how that happened, but I thought it looked cool, so I kept it. Trident Rain. Just doesn't flow quite as well, you know? Well, even if it's repetitive, I mean, you just described speedruns in general. Every Super Mario RPG speedrun I've ever seen, it's like half of it is just Mario using Super Jump. There are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. It's not a true speedrun until you have to rely on RNG to give you rock candy freebies. Nice. No. You kill the first two and the third one just uses Fear Roulette over and over again, and that's it. That's the game. You got like 30 freebies. I understood that reference. Congratulations. Beaten those villains, broken their curse. Only one thing left to do. See you in the real world. Okay, I think I fixed that glitch where the whirlpool sometimes you get stuck and it doesn't go to the end screen, but I fixed that on the patches. This is still version 1.0, so we'll see. Okay, cool. Toad morphs into some monster as the real final boss. That'd be pretty great. Well, there we go. We got through the campaign. What do you guys want to see next? I can boot this save file back up and do the Pit of 100 Trials with the optional bosses like Culex at the bottom of the pit. Or we can do the Pit of 100 Nightmares. Get that randomized stuff going on. I don't know. What's the consensus? Alright, you guys want the trials? You don't want the nightmares? We can do that. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Can I do polls? I think I could do polls. Hold please. Yes, let me start a poll here and see what we can come up with. Let's see. Pit of 100. Oh wait, that's the wrong button. Okay, let's try this again. Pit of 100 trials. Pit of 100 nightmares. Start poll. If you don't grind the experience and do each one round like you did, get the true final boss of the campaign. The mages being big, mage like in the... Okay. So you're saying if you end the game at a certain level, because you didn't grind out anything, if you should get a different boss. Yeah, you like the file select screen? This lovely little cloud arrangement I have here? It was a pain in the butt to add, frankly, but it seems to have worked out well enough. Either way, whatever we start tonight, I'm sure we're not going to finish, so we're going to continue that next week. But I'll at least get started for now. Alright, so far Pit of 100 Trials is winning. Given to the nightmares. Well, you gotta convince the rest of the team here to vote for that. Alright, I guess I'll just assume that Pit of 100 Trials is going to win and start doing some shopping here. Yeah, the pit obviously has no shops available in it, so we gotta make sure that we're properly decked out here. Let's see, we have red essences. At least a few of them. Probably gonna need some candy. We have some monies, but not a lot of monies. Maybe we just buy a couple more of these, for good measure. Couldn't hurt. Honestly, I'm inclined to just buy syrups for the rest of this. How hard would it be to make an enemy scale in difficulty based on player level? Probably, I have no idea how I would do that. I'll put it that way. Like, you'd have to have... Yeah, I don't know how you would do that. I don't know how you'd have the game account for whatever level you're at, and, like, Because there's no way to adjust enemy stats. Well, no, that's not true. There is a way to adjust enemy stats in real time. So I guess you could have... okay, I'm thinking about this semi-out loud now. I guess there could be a way to do that. It would just be incredibly cumbersome, and it may not even be possible when all is said and done. I just have kind of a rough idea of how you would do it, but it would be pretty hard. Alright, what are we feeling? Because this is version... Why is the text weird? It's probably because I tried to mash too fast. But yeah, this is version 1.0, again, remember. So, we don't have as many song choices in this one. And we won't be able to change the song every 10 floors. Yeah, let's just stick with the railroad. No shops in the pit. Feels illegal. Well, there are shops in the Pit of 100 Nightmares, but not the Pit of 100 Trials. Alright, let's officially end the poll here. Pit of 100 Trials wins. Let's see, did that... Okay. Perfect, okay. Would I do a Paper Mario ROM hack? Like, would I play one, or would I make one? Because making them, I have no idea how to hack Paper Mario. But playing them, I'd love a good one. Okay, he tells you what the Pit of 100 Trials are, but we already know that. It's basically the same as Thousand Year Door. Okay, making sure the sign works. Oh yeah, this is when the... Again, version 1.0, the music is the pipe vault music here, and that doesn't change. But you do have the option of changing the battle music in version 1.1. You know, you guys think there should be shops here in the Pit of 100 Trials? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that's part of the challenge of it, is you just kind of gotta go with what's on your back. But I also get why that might rub some people the wrong way. I don't know. I'll table that one. The major changes between 1 and 1.1, mostly some fixes for a few different things. Adding more music choices for battle music. Starting you out with a few items to make that first battle room easier. But yeah, mostly just fixing a few things here and there. Oh yeah, and fixing the item floors here in the pit so that they actually give you the thing they're supposed to give you. They didn't work in version 1.0, which is what we're doing, by the way. So, I'm not going to be getting the rewards from the pit. Dark Star Edition? I can't remember if that's the one I played or not. Yeah, I don't remember if I played Dark Star or not. There was some Paper Mario hack I played back in the day. But I can't remember what it was called. It might have been Dark Star Edition, but I don't remember. And I'm not talking about Dark Pit. I'm talking about one that I played before I started doing YouTube. I am, in fact, just going to suffer, but hey. The things I do for you people. The Broshi Dragon Sprite? Any ideas for that? What do you mean? That sprite is in this game. It's one of the enemies that you'll find toward the bottom of the pit. So it does exist. The final reward from the pit should be the super suit. You know, I considered that one, but I don't know. The super suit is just so ridiculously broken that I didn't want to add it to this game. But then again, at the same point, it's, you came all of this way, you might as well, you beat the hardest stuff in the game, you might as well get some equipment that matches that. Have I tried Armageddon? I tried Armageddon back in the day. I played super old versions of it. And I remember it being super hard, to the point where, I mean, I admittedly got a bit frustrated with it, because it felt like if you weren't playing the game in just the right way, if you weren't doing things exactly the way the creators wanted you to, you would die, and I didn't like that. But I know that since then, version 10 came out, and there's a normal mode for that, so I'll probably play that at some point. What's the reward if you beat the Pit of 100 Trials? The safety ring. Because that's another broken item that you just kind of get for free in the original game. I could rebalance it to be a little bit weaker? Yeah, maybe. It's a possibility. I must play optimally. This is not a speedrun. A goodie bag. I guess we don't really have any use for this. I don't know, guys. I mean, you saw me doing 100 super jumps regularly on a few streams back when we were doing the Waluigi thing. So, I don't know, maybe I should start my speedrunning career. I mean, that's all you need to do, right? It's just super jumps over and over again until you beat the game. That's a speedrun, right? Oh, you meant for Armageddon. Yeah, well, either way. Mr. Kipper. So, is there a Mrs. Kipper? The descriptions of items in the original game were certainly not great. Like, I think the safety badge says that it protects against... It's like 2 random statuses, like Fear and Scarecrow or something like that, when in reality it blocks all negative status effects. How much time is really saved when it takes minutes to do 1 super jump? Yeah, an excellent question. I can't say that I follow the speedrunning scene that closely, but it wouldn't surprise me if there was a category that's just no super jumps. Yeah, it's really nice that Lazy Shell is more stable now. But by the time I was at the end of my Axem Rangers hack, I couldn't open like half of the editors in Lazy Shell without getting an error message and it crashing. So that doesn't happen with newer hacks that I've made. Am I gonna fix that protection suit in another patch to block against one-hit kills? I might. That might be a good idea. I mean, the whole point of it is you're supposed to have super defense in exchange for all of your damage output. So being able to block the few one-hit KO attacks that exist in the game seems fair. It's basically just Countdown and Smithy, and I guess Jinx too. Jinx has Silver Bullet. Carny Kiss. Carny Kiss is not a one-hit KO, it just, depending on the enemy, can do a crap ton of damage. Modding capabilities for Mario and Luigi or Luigi's Mansion. That would be nice. I feel like hacking GameCube games... Oh hey, I actually leveled up from fighting scrubs. It wasn't until recently that hacking Nintendo 64 games was just a nightmare and a half for people to do. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's going to be a while before we see like any real big substance behind editing GameCube games and beyond. Super mega endgame boss. Being Gilgamesh. It could be Gilgamesh, but he has hammers from the different eras of Mario. Like a wooden hammer, the metal hammer that the Hammer Bros use, or the Hammer Bros suit from Super Mario Bros. 3. That kind of thing. I could see that. Gilgamesh with his 6 arms wielding hammers is just a biblically accurate Hammer Bro. Hello, Jagger. Ah, Luigi's Mansion already has a hacking scene. Oh, that's good to know. Interesting. The Excalibur. I love it. Alright, FLG, what'd you make for the rest of us? You missed me, Wait, how long have you been gone? Did you see me beat the game? Yikes, you're tough. Left at the poll? Okay. You missed the conclusion of the poll. Alas. I lied. There are no jump shoes. Version 1.0. You've betrayed me. Galaxy is getting its own modding scene. That's good. I feel like that's gotta be one that people prioritize. Like, kinda how Super Mario World is like one of the go-to Super Nintendo hacking scenes. Wouldn't surprise me if if Galaxy became that for the Wii. Egg rolls and matzo sticks. Living the high life. There have been the occasional night where, you know, dinner at our house just is like whatever we can just find around the house. So as we're all sitting around our table eating our dinosaur chicken nuggets, I look to my 6-year-old and think, we are eating the same thing right now. I guess the more things change, the more they stay the same. Thrilling content. Yeah, one of the things I changed that I didn't really specifically mention was I think there are less Shy Rangers in version 1.1. So stuff like that doesn't happen, where you just fight a battle with 2 Shy Rangers that leave and then you win. That's one of the hardest parts of being a parent, is when it's getting close to dinner time and your kid tells you, I want to order pizza, it takes everything in me to not just pick up the phone and go, same, and then order a pizza. I really want to use... maybe I should bring Malo. Malo. I can just thunderbolt some of these chumps. But, I don't know. I am trying to save my FP as much as possible. Throw a can of SpaghettiOs in the microwave? Sure, buddy. Distant explosion sounds. They really want to mute Bowser, and it's really just bumming him out. Do you see the expression on his face? Galaxy 2 is the Super Mario World of Wii modding? Well, I guess that makes sense too. They're both for the Wii, so if you're gonna pick one to mod, make it the one that's got... that already has kind of more advanced features. I was about to say, if they had a Super Mario World 2, that would probably be where the modding scene is for the Super Nintendo, but then I remembered they do have a Super Mario World 2. It stars Yoshi. I always forget that Yoshi's Island is supposed to be Super Mario World 2 for some reason. My skill, it's frightening. Speaking of these particular Shy Guys, I didn't realize until the remake that they're supposed to be wearing camo. I thought it was just like weird, like green and gold a green and gold outfit they were wearing because they're rare, but no, they're supposed to be like spies wearing camo. Yeah, I imagine it's because Yoshi... It was probably Nintendo being afraid of Yoshi having his own game that people might not have realized at first, like, no, this game is good, give it a chance. So they wanted to have that title on there so people knew, yeah, it's related to Mario, so if you like Mario, you'll like this. Please buy our game. Ah, the little goomblings. Only the US version got that subtitle? Oh, well there you go. Yoshi's Island is a good game. I feel like though that none of the other Yoshi games in the Yoshi series pantheon are as good as Yoshi's Island though. I mean, Yoshi's Story was kind of meh. Woollywood World was good, but I still like Yoshi's Island better. And then Crafted World was, I don't know, that one was okay, but not my favorite. The Lying Chest. Yoshi's New Island. Honestly, I kind of forgot that existed. If that tells you anything about it. Why is Bowser the only one that causes enemies to run away? He only causes enemies to run away in Bowser's Keep, the second time around. And it's because they're his old troop that have been, like, hypnotized or something. So they're scared of him. But yeah, that only ever happens in Bowser's Keep the second time. Bowser and the Koopalings get their own game? Well, maybe. I mean, what would it be about, I guess? What style of game? Are we talking a platformer? RPG, dating simulator. Yeah, Matt, I've thought about doing, about including the Koopalings in a hack, but yeah, I don't know how to draw sprites, so never got much further than a thought. The Super Mario 64 hack, now you're talking. There are some good SM64 hacks out there, I've played a couple of them. I feel like they all tend to get a bit too difficult toward the end, but some are more reasonable than others. Bowser, nice job. It's a dating simulator, but every option is just Larry. Yeah, Druid, the new editor symbol is the fat Yoshi, which is a little weird considering it's still called Lazy Shell. To not have a Lazy Shell be the symbol was a little weird at first, but no, the icon changed a couple times. When Yaki first did his updated version, he changed it to a Goomba as the symbol for the editor. And then once the ROM hacking Discord opened up and that kind of became the main place where stuff gets talked about, it got changed to the fat Yoshi, because that's the icon of that server. Any dating simulator where I can't romance Larry is garbage. Return with a bowl full of Chef Boyardee? Well, as long as your microwave didn't explode. I hope when you said microwave a can, you took it out of the can? I mean, I'd like to think that goes without saying, but I have no idea how old any of you are, so for all I know, you're like 12. So please don't do that. Yeah, if there's some courageous soul out there who wants to take a shot at spriting Super Mario RPG custom sprites, I would be happy to insert them into my various projects. Does the pit have to be done in one run, or can you save? It has to be done in one run, but see, the great thing about playing this on a computer is that there's this lovely thing called save states. So, probably gonna stop halfway through the pit and do the rest next time. And with any luck, we'll be able to start the Pit of 100 Nightmares next time, too, if we can get through it fast enough. In the Wii U Paper Mario game, I never had a Wii U and never played any of the games for it, so as far as I'm concerned, those things don't exist. Stop making stuff up, Dreams. I cheated? Oh man. Oh darn. Sorry guys. Stream over. I considered adding save points to the pit, but I just couldn't figure out how to do it in a way that was satisfying. Like, having one every 10 floors kind of takes the meat out of it, you know? Where if you die, you just go back a few floors. That's not that big of a deal. I thought about doing one at like the 50th floor or something, just halfway through, but then again, if you die at floor 99 or floor 100, you still gotta go back quite a ways. It's just, I don't know. I couldn't figure out a way that it made sense. So I figured the best thing to do at the end of the day was just copy 1000 Year Door and not have any save point at all. Sunshine didn't have a 3D or have a modding scene for a while. There's never been a Kaizo mod until recently. I don't know, I never liked Kaizo mods. I said before, I like watching people do Kaizo mods, but I'd never want to do one myself. I'm just... I don't hate myself that much. Give the player one save item they can use in the pit, kind of like the save crystal from FF7. Now, if I could figure out how to do that, I would, but I have no idea what to do for that. I mean, it's not a bad idea, honestly. I just don't know how it would work, how to make that happen. Even the pits in Zelda are the same, no save points. Yeah, so, I don't know. Part of it, it's supposed to be the challenge of doing it all in one go, right? Hello, my little Muku Muku friend. We nearing halfway? We're getting there. We're on 40-something right now. Super Mario Eclipse. Oh, I heard about that one. Super Mario Sunshine. I liked Sunshine well enough, but it's not one that I'm like dying for new hacks for, you know? So for me, that's kind of a like on the back burner, checking out Eclipse. Yeah, the pit's going by fairly quick for now, just because we're still fighting early and mid-game enemies at endgame levels, so... I mean, that's kind of like how the vanilla pit works anyway, right? It's either you come in at a high level so that you kind of match the level of the stuff at the end of the pit, or you come in at a low level and the stuff at the end of the pit kills you in one hit. Make it so when you reach XO floor... Oh, so reaching 40 lets you restart at the 30th. I see, okay. The only save should be if you get defeated, just save your experience and items before getting back to the top. Well, I don't know about saving the items. Or do you mean like saving your items like treating them like you never used any of them? So you're basically just only getting the experience that you got from the pit? I don't know. It's a delicate dance of having there be a challenge, but not having it not be too overwhelming. I did one of those pre-Hooktail Pit of 100 Trials run in 1000 Year Door once, and I actually managed to get through it by the skin of my teeth, but yeah, that was pretty rough. I don't know, the old man in me is saying that there should be an option to save, just because, thinking of the 1,000-year door now, I don't think I've ever gone through the Pit of 100 Trials where it didn't take, like, a couple hours, and it gets harder and harder to find a couple hours in a row in my life as it goes on. No, what makes me laugh about doing a pre-Hooktail pit run is that one of the things... I read a guide on like how to prepare for it once. You took down Bonetail before even taking on Hooktail? Yes, exactly. But I read this guide on how to prepare for it once, and it said something like, make sure you bring 2 shooting stars, because there's a formation of the wizards at the bottom, where that's like the only way you can damage them, is with shooting stars. And so I did that, and as it turns out, there's more than one formation of wizards like that. So bringing the 2 shooting stars helped with one of them, but not the other. Basically, there comes a point where it's just you use fire drive to kill everything you can, and pray. When I did PHP, I just killed everything before with... Man, they killed him before he could give us the strategy. They shot him right at his desk. We're starting to get into it now. A little bit. These are sunken ship enemies we're fighting, which means once we hit floor 50, we'll start fighting Land's End enemies, Area 6 enemies, and those will only get tougher from there, so we're getting close to the interesting part. I'm amazed Peach is still doing damage. Yeah, me too. She is trying her best. Go get him, princess. My only problem with doing a pre-Hooktail pit run now is, well, one, it takes a lot longer than a normal run because you're at such a low level. But 2, I'm old, guys. Doing a pre-Hooktail pit run involves a lot of super guarding, and I just can't super guard the way I used to. My old age, my reaction time. I don't know, I could probably do it if I practiced enough. It was easier back in the day when I was playing video games for hours on end, every day. Dropping ice chunks on my head. Rude. All right, Chester. Now this guy might actually do some okay damage against us. Can you do anything, princess? 9? I'm trying to see if I can get through this fight without using much flower points. Many flower points, if any. Trying to hang on to our resources as much as we can, but if Gino's going to be afraid, we might not have the option. What's the name of your Super Mario 64 hack? Marinara for cheese sticks? Yes, that's the correct answer. Ranch for cheese sticks? Ugh. Gross. On the topic of being an old man, I feel like as I've gotten older, there are some things that I just don't like as much anymore, food-wise, and I feel like ranch is one of those. Ranch used to be a go-to staple for salads, veggie dip, you know, even something like dipping pizza crust in ranch, but now I don't know, I can't do it. Oh man, don't mega recover. Lame. Boo. Your taste buds change every 7 years? Well, perhaps. I remember being one of those kids that liked to get McDonald's. Like, oh, can we go stop at McDonald's, Mom? And now I just can't do that anymore either. But it makes you wonder, was it me that changed, or was it McDonald's that changed? Are they just really not as good anymore? Okay, there we go. I feel like some of the fast food places changed some of their recipes in an attempt to at least appear to be more healthy, and it just, I don't know, it made their stuff taste worse. Which, like, let's be real, if I'm going to a fast food place, I'm not concerned about my health. Just let me have the stuff that's terrible for me that tastes good. Lame Boo the Magnificent. 200 coins, huh? Well, the good news is, by the time you're done with the pit, you should have enough money to buy whatever you want. Yeah. What a waste of money. Ah, the cursed ring. That we don't have. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and call it here for the night, team. We're here at floor 50. We'll take care of the other 50 floors next week. Same time, same place. Hope to see you guys there. I appreciate you guys being here. Feels like we've got a few more regulars now since we started doing this hack, and it's good to see that. It's always good to have that chat participation. I appreciate you guys being here. So, same time next week. Have a good night, and I hope to see you there.